I'm gonna hit you so hard you won't see nothing. Ever, 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 ever.
Audio Skulls all day.
The lyric scientist forever.
Do you guys see that? What? Do you see that?
What light through yonder window breaks?
What Jared said, folks. And yes, that is not only Jared's voice, but this is my face and voice.
What is that? Where'd that come from?
What this right here?
No, what I just said.
Oh, it is, I want to say, it's from Edgar Allan Poe.
Nope.
Ah, fuck.
Wrong already.
Yeah, well, I typically am wrong 98% of the time on this podcast, so nothing has changed in this podcast, this live podcast here on Twitch on Friday night. Whoa! What are we doing? What are we doing here?
We're streaming.
We're streaming, folks. We're streaming on your fun Friday night. You're going to get your pizza ordered. You're going to get your booze in order. And you're going to sit down and you're going to crack a cold one with the boys. Because this week, the Mad Scientist Labs 193rd episode is here on Friday night. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you all for joining us. If you're there. And if you're not, you will be here soon. Hopefully.
Well, what up, Hollywood? He's in the building.
Hey, what's up, Hollywood?
It is Friday. I'm not going to do that old school, it's Friday, I'm blah, 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 because we are not a radio show. We are a podcast. We are not doing that traditional shock jock bullshit.
Now, let me ask you, since you did just bring that up, I know you don't follow the masses, the wave, or anything that remotely anybody is interested in,
If you bring up Lizzo, I'm definitely going to agree with you.
Absolutely not. I have seen the headlines today. I have not looked into it. I don't care.
Me either. Don't want to look.
No, but I remember, when we were kids, Friday night television, TGIF, thank God it's Friday. Everybody gets hyped up. And you're right. If you're taking the school bus, to school when they had a local radio station on, like you said, it's Friday, and everybody's pumped for the weekend and all that. Mm-hmm. Now, as adults, we might enjoy the weekend, but are we even really pumped for it anymore?
No, because as adults, that just because it's the weekend doesn't mean the shit you have to do as an adult stops.
Exactly.
There's always something to fucking do.
It's terrible.
Yeah, it's the worst.
It's actually one of the worst feelings imaginable. So if you are an adult, me and Jared sympathize with you. Responsible adults, first and foremost, because we are responsible people 95% of the time. I'll say 97 just to give us a little cushion.
Wait, cushion? No, motherfucker. You got to go the other way if you're trying to give us some cushion.
Okay. So, but regardless, we like to be responsible adults. And tonight we are doing this podcast on Friday because why not?
Yeah, because for reasons.
For reasons.
Don't worry about them.
Don't worry about them. You have us. And so, but I do remember as a kid, Friday comes and you're just like, oh man, especially me, nerd guy here. Friday's coming. It's like, oh man, I can't wait to wake up tomorrow morning, Saturday morning and play my video games and then not do anything all day. And then I think about it and I still do. And it's pretty horrible. And that's probably why I am in the...
Think about what, playing video games?
Well, I'm just saying, so Friday night is a big deal. It was, one in my
house.
house.
You do treat it as it was that way for me. You'll get your Happy Meal, after your mom gets off work. That's how it was for me. After you get off work, go pick me up from daycare or wherever the fuck, school or whatever, and go get a Happy Meal, maybe go see a movie or something.
Yeah, your Friday night, routine.
Yeah, or hit a Blockbuster or something.
A big thing. Oh, that's a real good one. I think that's an excellent choice.
But, I mean, now we have all that shit at our fingertips at any given time, so it's like, what's the point?
Yeah, it does, but it does take away the magic from it.
The magic's only for the kids. It's not, once you're an adult, the magic is gone.
I know. It stinks. Fuck. Dude, if we could build... We're mad scientists. If we could build a time machine, Jared, we should. But regardless, we don't have one. Not yet, at least. And we will carry on.
The closest I can get is watching Star Trek.
There you go. And
I wanted to get into that.
Yeah, so I know that you have been watching the new series. I still have only watched, I think, 3 or 4 episodes of the new series on Paramount Plus. It's on Paramount, right? Yes, that is correct.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
And I think it's, from what I've seen, it hasn't grown on me yet, but I am interested in it. And I know you've probably watched a lot more.
Oh yeah, I've seen every episode that's been produced. Well, season 1 was last year, obviously, and then season 2, there's one episode left in this season. But what I like about it, and I think I said it when I was kind of going over it last year. For those who don't know, what's up, Epic? He's like, what the reasons? That's why we're here this early.
The Earth is going to be hit by a comet in the next 42 hours.
But Star Trek, Star Trek Strange New Worlds is what I'm talking about. And for me, it really encompasses the old school feel of the original series.
Okay.
While bringing technology up to date.
Ooh,
because if you think about the original series, they didn't really have the same. That was 1960 something, 1964, I believe.
Yeah,
So-
it's kind of crazy how old that,
Yeah.
64. I mean, that's not too far from 1950 something, if you really think about it.
Yeah, and it was very progressive for its time.
Mm.
Like I talked about this before, how it had a whole bunch of different nationalities on there, and supposedly the theory behind it is that it humans on Earth have gotten past all their issues. Like there's no reason for money anymore. All this it's like a utopia type.
I like
thing.
that idea. No reason for money. I like that idea.
But this one takes place before the original series. So Captain Kirk, or he's not Captain Kirk at this point, he's Lieutenant Kirk. But he's a first officer on another ship. And Captain Pike is the captain of this Enterprise, the same Enterprise as that one. Now, in the original series, when they did the pilot, Captain Pike was the captain of the Enterprise. But then, like a couple episodes in, Kirk ended up taking over because Pike got in trouble. He was disabled or whatever. So this is part of the lore of Star Trek.
And I think that's really cool that they're being very close to, I guess, canon, so to speak, in keeping up with that. Because we've talked about spinoffs, and of a lot of major shows that don't really do as well as the original. However, as long as they're keeping that core value intact, I think that's a very, very good thing. Because prequels, because I'm very big, me personally, on character development for any type of medium, whether it's games, movies, TV shows, or even music, possibly, if that's possible. So I do like to see, put it this way, say you watch an original something, and you see the villain, and he's the most ruthless guy in the galaxy, and this, and that, and you're like, oh my God, why is he such a bad guy? And then you come out with these kind of prequels to before he became whoever he was, whether good or bad, and you see what caused him to become that way.
Give an example.
Oh man, that's tough. I don't want to use Metal Gear Solid as an example.
Yeah, we did that last week.
I know, it just touches so many bases. I am trying to think of really. Okay.
Well, Vader, I guess.
Vader. Okay, that's. I think that might be the best example. Darth Vader, who the most villainous bad guy of all time in cinema, who chokes people out with the Force, lightsabers.
One of the most villainous.
I agree.
Joker's right there. Right with
of course. That's another very good example.
Yeah, but he wasn't really a nice guy ever. He was always a criminal.
Yeah, well, it depends on the origin story. His is.
You're thinking about the Joaquin Phoenix version.
Well, no, I'm actually thinking about
just mentally ill.
I was thinking about the Red Hood version.
He was never nice. Red Hood is he's a criminal.
Yeah, but it's in which film? There's the Batman. It's the animated cartoon, one of the newer ones, where him and his wife are broke, and he tries to be a stand-up comic. Have you seen?
No, I haven't seen that one.
I think you would like that a lot.
They kind of had the Red Hoods in Gotham, and they kind of had a slight Joker-ish. They never called him Joker. His name was Jeremiah or something like that. But.
So Darth Vader, for example, he's a villainous bad guy. Everybody hates him. You find out he's Luke Skywalker and Princess Leia's father, and everybody's like, oh, collective gasp. But when the prequels came out, you see that he came from, he didn't know his father.
Humble beginnings.
And he was a good kid that was unfortunately persuaded by Emperor Palpatine in the Clone Wars.
I know we all know the story of it.
But I like stuff like that. It's like, oh man, this guy, this is why he's evil,
Well,
or this is why he be. I like little things like
But
that.
my point with the Star Trek stuff, I wasn't talking about like somebody being evil and getting like Pike did kind of become like a semi-villain, but it wasn't really his fault. It was just because he got fucked up, and so whatever. But anyway, this show goes into the whole story of the Enterprise before Kirk took over. Now, James T. Kirk is in this, but his brother is also, I think his name is George Cook. He's actually on the Enterprise.
Ooh.
But James T. Kirk is a lieutenant on a different ship. But this basically just leading up to eventually the story that he becomes the captain of Starship Enterprise A.
And besides, since we're talking about the Starship Enterprise, I was kind of thinking about this, not this week, but a couple weeks ago, like very, I guess, impactful, I don't want to say spaceships, but pieces and like maybe vehicle, like something that's not a scenery, but like a car or a ship or something in a movie that is really kind of up there with the lore of the things that follow, like the Starship, the Starship Enterprise, which I think is arguably the coolest thing in the world besides, the Death Star or the X-Wing.
Well, you have the Starship Enterprise 8, which is the NCC 1701, which is the one from the original series. Actually, there's one. Actually, I think that's C. I have to go back and look it up because from the Star Trek, or I should say from Enterprise, the show, that is supposed to be the original Enterprise.
I got
so
you.
that's NCC 1701. And then there's the one from the original series is either B or C, and then the one from Star Trek: The Next Generation is D.
I got you.
Then they had an E in the movies, and they just brought back D because Geordi. This is for all the Star Trek nerds out there. This motherfucker trying to don't correct me or tell me I'm correct. I know I'm correct.
Who's saying that?
Hollywood trying to tell me, oh yeah, NCC 1701, correct. Yeah, I like motherfucker. I know.
Yeah, thanks Hollywood.
What was I saying before? I was rudely interrupted.
Yeah. But you were basically saying that they kind of progressively.
So they ended up going in the new series Picard, Star Trek Picard. The last season they brought back the D, NCC 1701D, because
sorry, couldn't help it.
Because Geordi basically he was working for this museum and he ended up rebuilding it from old parts, and he rebuilt because it blew up in one of the movies.
Oh, I'll give you another really good one in terms of a vehicle or vessel is the Ghostbusters van, dude. I think that's
that's a station wagon.
Yeah, it just the good old fashioned station.
Oh, that's a fucking soundbite.
Smart guy. That's why I do this show with you, because he's smart, as we like to say here in Brooklyn. But what I was going to say is, but certain little things like that, like certain ships, vessels, whatever the case may be, not so much the scenery of it, but the vehicle itself. There are a lot of really good ones out there that's just like.
First of all, I don't think it was a hearse.
It is.
It's an ambulance. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay, he corrected himself.
Yeah, there's no way. God, wouldn't that just kind of like be a Debbie Downer? You find out they're riding around in a hearse the whole time. I mean, they're killing ghosts. Yeah,
it makes probably sense. It could have been a hearse. I don't remember.
Or
look it up.
I'll even give a more recent example is the Fast and the Furious. Dom's. What does he drive? A Mustang? A Challenger?
It's a Challenger.
A Challenger. So another, just even though you might not be a huge fan of the film.
Mustang, they don't look anything like.
I know I haven't seen some of these movies in a while, so forgive me. But just little things like I think that stuff's cool.
Oh shit! I gotta turn that off.
Oh my god! Yeah, please. I can hear my voice, and it's a little weird. It's kind of creeping me out, folks. Are you creeped
That's
out?
not your voice. That's Leslie Nielsen from. I don't think they can hear it because it's coming through my PC.
I gotcha. No, but folks out there, what is your favorite vessel, ship, car, motorcycle from any movie that really stands out. Not like some one-off thing, something that is truly like, if you saw it in person, you'd be like, whoa, shit. Because I'm telling you, if I saw the Starship Enterprise, the Death Star, an X-Wing, a TIE Fighter, Dom's Challenger, the Ghostbuster Mobile, whatever you want, the Batmobile, that's another, very good one. A lot of cool shit. So what's your favorite? Let us know in the comments below.
Now, when you talk about Batmobile, which Batmobile are we talking about here?
Ooh, man, dude. I'm going to have to go with Michael Keaton's version.
I knew you were going to say that.
Just simply because that's the one that I grew up with right behind the animated series. Those are
yeah. Oh, they're based kind of similar. They're very similar.
Similar. And I liked the Batmobile in the Dark Knight trilogy. However, when he turned that thing into like a massive tank or he had that on the side, I was just thinking, well, this is fucking badass. And then it turns into the fucking motorcycle when he's... Dude, Batman is cool. I don't know how you cannot like Batman. I just simply don't. It just...
I don't understand it either.
Yeah, it doesn't resonate with me. If you don't like The Flash or Thor...
Okay, well, relax on that.
Okay.
The Flash. I do fuck with the one from the newest Batman movie. That Batmobile is pretty cool. Because it's the most realistic of all of them.
I got you.
But then they brought back the Michael Keaton version in the new Flash movie.
Oh, man. That's like super nerdgasm.
Bro, you have to watch this fucking movie.
I'm
going to give this away. I have to give this away because you probably would have known it would happen anyway. They brought back that Batwing from that series, too.
Another iconic. Oh my God!
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I would probably shed grown man tears. Now that you told me, I'm going to. But if you hadn't, I love things like that.
Shout out to Epic, another 10 bomb. Thank you, sir.
Epic. Thank you for just being a generous human being. We are forever in your debt, sir. And I don't think that'll ever
That
change.
man really doesn't like ads.
No,
I know there's an ad or two that's popped up already.
And it's funny you say that. So over the last 2 weeks or so at night when I turn something on TV and I'm kind of have it in the background, YouTube has a ton of free movies on it, right?
With ads.
With ads. However, let me ask you a question, Jared. Have you ever seen, and I'm sure you have at some point, it's not a wildly popular film by any means, but it was always in the back of my mind. It's like, I want to watch this again. It is called Judgment Night with Emilio Estevez, Cuba Gooding Jr., Emilio Estevez.
Estevez.
Really?
Yes.
Are you sure that that's pronounced that way?
Let's look it up. And to be honest, that's not his real name.
Well, if
he's a Sheen.
I know he's a Sheen.
He's literally a Sheen.
I know that. I understand that.
But he changed his name because he didn't want to be not associated, but he didn't want to be, basically, I guess, cast under the shadow of the other Sheens.
Well, that's when I found out Nicolas Cage is the son of Francis Ford Coppola.
Coppola.
Sorry.
Yeah, so that's how I know I'm right.
You're not right. You're never right. I'm right. I'm right because I am smart. I am smart. But sorry. Breaking thought. Another really cool vehicle. The fucking
Estevez, bro.
Estevez. Okay.
It's an E. Not,
all right.
That's just still there from last week.
I watched it
2 weeks ago.
I watched this movie called Judgment Night that came out in 1993.
He's in it?
Yes, he's in it. He's the lead role. Cuba Gooding Jr., Dennis Leary, and a few other guys. And this movie is your typical 90s action flick. So these guys basically have a night out. Emilio Estevez, just has his newborn baby. His wife's got the baby. They're sitting on the porch, and they go out. So his buddy picks him up in this RV. He's like, I got it from a dealership. I told him that I, work for this company, and it's got this huge, it looks like the typical 90s RV. It's got the big screen TV. It's got the bar. It looks like something you could live in, high-class quality shit back in the early 90s. And they are going to a boxing event. They end up getting stuck in traffic, and they get off on an exit, and they end up in the wrong part of town, And they actually end up witnessing a murder, a young man being murdered, and throughout the film are being chased by the people that knew they saw the murder happen. And I want to tell you that...
I feel like I've seen this. I just don't remember it.
You don't. It's not a talked about film. I couldn't believe I actually found it on YouTube. I can't find it on any streaming service, major streaming service ever. I couldn't even find it on Xbox if I wanted to buy it.
I'll find it.
Okay, if you can find this, folks, you heard it here first. I'm going to give Jared $20.
I'll find it right now.
In
But I won't show them where I found it. So.
But this is just it's not a 4-star classic film. It's not anything anybody's. It's just a very fun watch, and it just gives super 90s vibes to it. Just with the set pieces, the RV they're in, the shady town that they roll up into with the hobos and all that. And it's just a really fun film to watch. So I encourage anybody who's a fan of 90s film, action, suspense, drama, all that thriller, if you want to throw that in there, to check out Judgment Night. I would say it's about, actually, I think it's a little over 2 hours long. It's one of the longer films I've seen in...
What year? 93?
1993.
Boom, found it.
Anyway, folks.
I told you.
Yeah, Jared's not going to find it. He's lying live here on Twitch. And when you can catch us every Saturday, live around 6 p.m.-ish. But today is Friday.
Oh, yeah. He says it's on Prime Video.
Is it?
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy. I haven't looked at Prime in a long time. So
What are you talking about? There's all kinds of gems there.
I know that. Dude, trust me. You don't know how often I've actually looked to watch this movie. I've checked Hulu. I've checked I did not check
You check
Prime.
everything but the place where it could have been.
Yeah, but if I'm not going to find it on some of the big stuff, it's like, why would it be over here? And I didn't think about it. I don't look all the time for it. I just randomly found it.
There are so many hidden gems on Prime. I mean, it is few and far between, but when they have a fucking show, they have a show, bro.
Yeah.
Like, what was that one with, what's the singer's name? She was in the Onion movie, the last Onion movie.
Onion movie.
The Knives Out Onion thing.
Oh, that one. Yes.
What's her fucking name?
I'm not too
She's
sure.
hot as fucking. I can't remember her goddamn name right now.
Do you-
Lisa Monet.
Oh, yeah, she is fucking hot, dude.
She was in a series on Amazon called Hometown, something like that. Somebody knows in here. Hollywood said it. It was like the older movies are on Prime and Tubi, which Tubi is owned by Amazon. So
Okay. So now that I know that, but it took me forever to find this film, but I'm going back to the whole ad portion. What Epic, doesn't like. Nobody likes ads. You start to enjoy film, and it's like, boom, commercial. It's like my dad. When you grew up watching a movie that wasn't on HBO or Cinemax or whatever, and it was on TNT or USA, TBS, whatever the case may be.
yeah, fuck commercials.
The commercials, my dad, they always put the commercial at the best time in the movie when you're starting to get sucked in. It's like, oh, why did you do that? Like, why did you do that? It's terrible. I hate it. It's formatted for television, and nobody likes it. Ads suck. Commercials stink. Period. 100%. But I was actually I found somebody who recorded the film in very good quality, ad-free, and I couldn't have been happier. So I laid there, and this actually may have been Sunday night, now that I think about it. Laid there, enjoyed it on my phone, and I sat there, and I felt so accomplished finally watching this movie that I had this like explosion of serotonin in my brain.
What movie are you talking about?
Judgment Night.
Oh, you still talking about that?
Yeah, dude, it's nothing. If you watch it, you're gonna be like, RJ was really hyped about this. I haven't seen it since I was a kid.
I will check it out. We just got a recommendation from MTG Man.
MTG Man, welcome to the Mad Scientist Lab.
I think I know who it is, but I always forget who it is. I'm pretty sure I know who it is.
We know who you are,
but I don't want to get it wrong.
And we know where you
The
live.
Blood Heroes with who's this guy? Rutger Hauer.
Okay.
Jane Shin. Oh, Vincent. Blah, 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 blah.
Dude, that guy is an incredibly talented actor.
We know, RJ. We know how much you want to get on your knees for him.
Oh, my God. I mean, I didn't know we were going to take a plot twist that deep. No pun intended,
I'm
folks.
joking. But, yeah, because he's in your favorite show. We get it.
Oh, man, such a
But he's also been in movies like Men in Black. I used to do that impression of him and to like this girl I used to date, and she'd be like, "Stop doing that." I don't do that,
dude. He actually put it this way: he's one of those guys that gets into his role really well. He's not Like, I'll give you a really good example who I think
Nobody can do fucking Kingpin ever again after him doing that.
I understand that. No,
you know
but-
who I'm talking about, right?
Yes, I know who Kingpin is.
From where?
You mean Spider-Man?
Yeah, kind of. But
Alright.
what did he play when he played Kingpin? What did he play it in?
You mean the Justice League?
No, I'm talking about Vincent DiStefano. I think that's how you,
He played-
Despacito, whatever his name is.
Kingpin, dude.
How
in the
dare
Flash.
you?
Yeah.
No.
No, it's either the Justice League or the Flash.
Nope.
And if it's not Spider-Man, please enlighten, dude. Because I've seen this film.
Fail. Yeah, Hollywood got you. He said, "Oh my god," because he knows you're wrong. Fucking Daredevil, bro. Netflix series.
You know, it's crazy. I don't think I've ever seen it.
Jesus. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to end the show now. Cause,
No. Now that I think of it, no, if I did watch it, I watched it when it first came out, and that was it.
Yeah, but you would have remembered this guy.
Yeah. So again, I'm telling you, the Daredevil is an awesome character. He's not one of my favorite characters, so I don't really kind of put myself. I don't know. So I've obviously failed you yet for the 108.
No, you didn't fail
million.
me. You failed the viewing audience.
Folks, I'm sorry for the 108th time in perhaps
Fucking
a week.
mods are chopping shit up. Like it's crazy.
Oh, we're popular tonight, folks.
No. It's the auto mod because I can see something here, but I can't see it through here. So it's weird.
We're probably being spammed by the robots.
I don't know. It's Al.
That's exactly who that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, you know what? Al, we know you're there.
Yeah, no, I see him. I don't see him in this one. I see him, or maybe this was earlier, and I just.
Or
didn't see
as we like to say here, Alley Ice. Sorry, you got to say it
it.
like
It might
that.
have been a long time ago.
But regardless, no. So if I have seen it, dude, it was when it first came out, and I just can't remember at all.
Right. That's where the Punisher. First of all, I will say this about the Daredevil series. We saw the Punisher in season 2 of that original series.
That show was awesome.
Yeah, that was. Whoa! Let me finish what I'm saying
Okay.
before you jump on what I'm saying. Season 2 of Daredevil was fucking amazing when they brought the Punisher in. Wild ass shit. I think he was at the end of season 1 too. Wild ass shit. Now the show when they came out with the Punisher show, that shit was slow and boring. I'm just gonna put it out there. It wasn't that good. And there are a lot of people like, oh my God, Punisher was good. No, it was trash. It was not what Daredevil was.
All right. So Jared has given his 2 cents. So that leads me to what I was talking about to you before we started the show. I decided last night, I got offline a little early, and I was like, I need to watch something. And I was like, you know what Jared told me there's a new season of? And I was like, I'm sorry I didn't do it sooner. Justified.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
So I watched the first episode of the return of Raylan Givens. For those who are fans of the Justified series, Timothy Oliphant, who plays, the sheriff from old Kentucky town, who's now out in Detroit.
He also
Okay.
plays a sheriff or a lawman in The Mandalorian season 2, I believe.
Yeah, and I'm a pretty big fan of this guy. I like his work.
No, I like him.
Yeah,
He's a beast.
Yeah, I like his work a lot. I watched the first episode last night. Now, I will say we don't talk about it a lot on this show, but Justified is, I think, one of the better shows
It's one of the most underrated shows ever.
Yes, 100%. And I think the reason being is because it came out around the time of Breaking Bad, Sons of Anarchy.
Sons of Anarchy was just about to end, and Breaking Bad was starting.
Yeah.
So and something else was on
And
too.
Game of Thrones is out.
Oh,
Yeah.
Game of Thrones was on at the same time. Yeah.
So you got to remember, folks, for a good while in the early 2010s, we were insanely spoiled with some great television. Great television. And so I watched the first episode last night. I try not to, with things that I do like, I try not to have expectations. It's hard not to sometimes because I'm a fan. I watched the first episode.
And he's an emotional bitch, so he can't take his fucking feelings out of shit.
No, I'm sorry. It's just the way I'm. It's just the way I'm wired.
It's okay.
I'm sorry.
You have a soft heart.
I have a. Let me stop.
Yeah.
So I would tell you, within the first 20 minutes of watching it, I was actually not impressed by it. And the reason being is because I thought points, and this isn't maybe the first 20 to 30 minutes of the show. Okay, I know I'm getting accustomed to the new day and age and all this other stuff. I thought some of the dialogue was weird. It just seemed over the top.
In the new one?
Yeah, the first episode at least. With
What do you mean? What do you mean?
So I'll tell you. So the show starts off. He's with his daughter.
Yeah, don't give anything away. But
No, I'm not. But there's
give me an example of the dialogue.
not his dialogue. It's like I feel like the tone is set. It's got a gritty feel to it. Then you go to the next scene, and the gentleman who plays the judge in the first portion of the he's basically in the courtroom. And he's like, everybody shut the fuck up. And he's like pointing. He's like, fuck this, fuck, and I was just like, whoa, this seems a little over the top.
Oh, no. You got to remember, this is on Hulu now. So they can do what they want.
No, I'm not worried about the language or anything like that.
Oh, I thought you were being soft.
No, bitch, I'm not. Yeah, I said it.
Go
Bitch.
go ahead.
No, but I was just like, this is a little, it just seemed a little kind of cartoony to me. For a little bit with some of it.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you this right.
Mr. Givens, who is this? Shut up, motherfucker! And I was just like, oh my god.
First of all, let's not forget that I forgot the gentleman's name, but let's not forget he played the voice of Goliath in Gargoyles, so it could be a little cartoony in some ways.
And I'm okay with that. I was just kind of taken aback by it.
I will tell you this: you got to keep watching because I watched episode 4 today. Because I think they come out on Wednesdays. I watched episode 4 today, and there's a reason for that.
And I'm fine because I'm not trying to, as you always say, form my own opinion, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there, and again, me being and you as well, being fans of the original series, after a certain point in the first episode, things started kind of going the way I particularly would enjoy them, and I was like, okay, now we've got something.
Yeah.
And that's all I have seen so far, but I am kind of glad that that's not happening anymore.
No, you're gonna enjoy it. I'm telling you, there's a method behind the madness,
and I'm fine. So that is kind of like my show for the weekend, maybe something else.
Because you think he's cartoony now, bruh. Wait till you,
because I know how good the original show is, and that's why.
Don't put your expectations on the original show.
No, I'm not.
I remember I watched.
It's been a long time.
I watched the show too. I didn't. I watched it later, but I watched it. I watched it at the beginning sporadically, just because I was probably doing something else or whatever. But I watched it too. But I'm taking out all my expectations from the original show away. And I'm going to judge it for what it is as this piece. Because they obviously named it something different. Justified City of Deviants or whatever.
Or is it like Primeval or something like that?
Yeah, some shit like that. They obviously named it for a reason because they wanted to separate it from the original series. So,
which is fine, and I'll take your word for it. But I will say after certain things happened in the first episode.
It gets wild, man, I'm telling you.
I was like, okay. I was like, now I don't have to. It's not that I didn't want to hear this guy talk. It's like when he spoke, I was just like, yo, this is kind of like, yeah, it was very.
I think you're being a little harsh. Like, just in my opinion, I didn't even think that hard into it.
Now, I will tell you, I was pretty baked while I was watching this.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
And had a little bit of a buzz going on. So
that makes more sense.
Don't know if my senses were correct. However,
I was clear-headed, so.
However, no, but as I was watching this, I even thought, I was like, am I too high to watch this shit right now? Like,
I think you might have been.
Yeah, and I was like, because I love the character. I love the original series. So I'm thinking, let me not be so harsh about it. Because again, I don't want to judge it off the first episode. I know you have to build up.
Yeah, you can't.
Especially with a character I genuinely like.
And did you finish the first episode?
Absolutely.
Well, here to be fair, and they did this with the Last of Us also. To be fair, when they originally released it, I think they released 2 episodes.
Yeah.
So probably for the same reason, maybe the network probably didn't think the first episode held up enough.
Yeah.
Because that's what HBO did with The Last of Us, which I think they kind of wasted a week. They could have got more numbers than they did just by letting that hang out.
Oh, dude, I'll tell you right now. I watched the first episode and I was like, man, dude.
Yeah, but they dropped 2 episodes. Yeah. Well, they combined 2 episodes into one.
Yeah, because it's like an hour and a half, I think, or so. But no, I finished the first episode, and by the time it was over, I was like, okay, this is kind of more of what I was looking for. And it was a little later. I was like, I want to watch the next one, but I knew if I really got into it, I would have stayed up watching it, and I had to have some discipline. And so I am going to be partaking in that for the duration of the weekend.
Oh yeah, finish it. So then
absolutely.
Next week we'll have something to talk about.
Because he's such a he's such a good actor, man. And it's just a really cool character. Really cool character.
I want to switch subjects a little
Yeah,
bit.
of course.
Not subjects, but we're still in television because you never watched the first season. I watched the first season, but you've seen the movie of Lincoln Lawyer.
Yeah, how is that?
I watched the first season. I hooked. I binged the fuck out of it because it was Netflix, so it all came out in one day. This one, when the first episode, all of them came out, but I only had time to watch one, and that was like a couple weeks ago. So I got back on it today because I had time to get back into it, and I couldn't stop watching it, bro. I finished it right before I left my house.
Okay, I got you.
Because the way the storyline works out, the way it's like the perfect like murder mystery crime lawyer show. It's like everything mixed into one.
And you know how I feel about that stuff. So
yeah, we know.
Yeah,
true crime, bitch.
Yeah, I know. Goddamn right. Still a great show.
I think Lincoln Lawyer is a little better. It also it's not as regimented as
even with a show like Law and Order, I know what I'm getting when I'm watching it.
Yeah.
And when they do on occasion have like the 2-part episode, you know, I like stuff like that. I do like the continuation of things. But when I watch an episode of Law and Order, I know I'm going to watch about 45 minutes of them trying to figure something out, and there's always a resolution at the end.
Yeah, it's the same cookie cutter bullshit.
Yeah, and I like that because when you do get into things that have a prolonged story arc, that's when I get insanely invested into things, period, regardless of what it is.
I know what I figured out about myself. And I remember when Suits came on, I started watching that at the beginning, and then some stuff came up because that was around the same time.
There was a lot of good
the whole time there was a lot.
I wonder
of
if we
stuff.
took that for granted, man.
I think we did because I never got into Mad Men. Mad Men is supposed to be exceptional, but I've tried to watch it, but it's like I think the fucking appeal is kind of over now. Suits, same thing. Like I want to get back into it, but there's 8 fucking seasons, and I don't feel like devoting my time to a whole thing. But my whole point in saying that is like I actually lawyer shows I fucking do like.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. Maybe it's like the intrigue of outsmarting your opponent or getting to the bottom of some bullshit. I don't know. It could be all the. I think it's the strategic part of it too. That's why I like Lincoln Lawyer because he's a very strategic lawyer, but he's also like kind of edgy. Like he's gonna push the boundaries as far as he can, but he won't step over the boundaries.
I got you.
So that's why I fuck with it.
No, and I actually, believe it or not, I want to say maybe a month ago, you know, as you came in tonight, you saw me sitting on my couch and hanging out with my mom. My mom, when I come in the house most nights, is either watching her typical stuff on Lifetime or on good old-fashioned QVC, looking at things I can't afford.
There's not much variation in that one.
I will give my mom credit. Do you know what my mom's a big fan of that I don't think I could get into, really? My mom's a big fan of foreign films.
Hand me the little thing right there.
This?
Yeah, no, in front of it. Yeah. There you go, Al. There's my boobs.
Shit. Oh, Jesus, is that okay? There are our boobs, Al. Thank you for asking. Now you have been flashed live on the podcast. No, but my mom's a big fan of foreign films, and I couldn't name any. But when I go downstairs and I'm like, "Hey, what are you watching?" She was like, "Oh, it's this." I was like, "I've never heard of that." She was like, "Yeah, it's this foreign film where it's like dubbed in English, or not dubbed in English, but you know what I mean."
Dubbed in English.
Yeah, dubbed in English. And I'm like, "Mom,"
but unless she's reading subtitles.
And I'm like, "Mom, you like this stuff?" And she's like, "Well, yeah." She was like, "They have this, and that." So my mom, who is a pretty normal person in terms of her value in entertainment and what she likes to watch, I was just kind of like, well, I wouldn't watch this shit. Not because I don't think it's good. It's just like, I don't know if I want to watch that shit. You know, maybe I'm not open-minded enough.
It's just not your thing. Like
you know.
you wouldn't watch QVC for hours. You wouldn't watch Lifetime for
God.
hours. So why would you think you would watch the same shoe?
Oh, dude, QVC drives me nuts, bro. Oh my God, dude.
But
Four
it's not-
easy
it's-
payments of $8.99.
It's not for you, RJ.
I understand that.
All that stuff. Look, this is the part of marketing that I love is the demographics, learning what and why people like certain things. That's why they collect all this data. All these like websites and just everything. That's why they collect all that data, because they can sell it to somebody else for a shitload of money, because they know whoever's buying it, they know they're going to get a return on investment for what they pay for that information, because they know exactly who to target depending on what their product is. I was like, oh, well, this product is doing well with this group of people, 18 to 34 males, single, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Boom. They're going to send them some whatever exactly their product line has that aligns with that direct demographic. So that's why there's so much money in this shit.
Well, I know, but then it's just like, and I guess me being, I don't want to say spoiled in the sense of like all the great shows and movies I've seen in my lifetime, and that goes for all of us to say, it's like, Ma, you could be watching something so much cooler, so much better, so much more entertaining, but you like this? Okay, and I don't knock it, but I just want, if my mom, put it this way, if my mom sat down and was like, I don't know what to watch, and I typically know what my mom likes to see. I know she's not going to watch some super violent action shit, but I referred her. I was like, hey, why don't you watch Lost, right? Which is a great television show, first and foremost.
You said it last week, right?
Yeah, I told her that last week, and I said, hey, I think you should watch this. I said, I think this is something that would be up your alley, that's got a little bit of everything in it. It's got drama, suspense, a little bit of romance in it, and it's intriguing. It keeps you engaged. And she was like, oh, I don't know if I'd like. My mom is kind of hard. I'm like my mother. Oh, my God. It just kind of hit me like a ton of bricks. She's kind of hard to convince to do certain things. Oh, my God. Anyway.
So did she watch Lost or no?
She has not yet. I will make sure that she does, because
What you're going to have to do is you're going to have to start it in front of her.
I already know that.
Yeah.
So I've already I've established that. But I think
Which means you're going to get hooked on it again.
I love that show.
I mean, if you're a fan of the show, you love the show, like, obviously. But what I'm saying is you're going to have to sit on the couch. Like, here, we're going to watch this right now.
Well,
shit, you got the whole weekend now.
Yeah. Yeah, no. So I've got to. I think that'll be more of a Sunday thing. That's like my real lazy day that I have.
Yeah.
So I don't mind doing that. But I look at it sometimes, and it's like, man, there's a lot of great TV that you've never seen out there. And it's just like, oh, this is something. Because I'm not going to tell my mom to watch, like, I watched Terminator 2 last weekend. My mom's not going to sit down and watch that with me. Or if it's like, oh, I turn on it's Secret Invasion, or, with Samuel L. Jackson.
Which you don't need to see.
Yeah, don't watch it. Yeah. After the podcast last week, I came home, I sat down, I turned the TV on, and I was just kind of thinking about the show and the day. Then I was like, man,
you watched the whole thing, right?
Yeah, Secret Invasion. Yeah, I watched the entire thing because I'm obviously a Sam Jackson fan.
I'm a Sam Jackson fan, and I'm a Marvel fan. Well, I'm a MCU fan, and I want to know the story. So I'm trying to fill in the gaps wherever. I don't want to be caught behind when the good shit hopefully comes out.
Good shit. And so, but I thought about it, and I was like, you know what? I was like, Jared's right, man. Like, this show was like pretty wag and very underwhelming. And then I went to work, Monday, obviously, and they're like, hey, RJ, how was your weekend, blah, blah, blah. I said, well, I did my podcast and this, and I said, I also finished Secret Invasion, the Marvel shit, and they were like, how did you like it? And I was like, you know what, man?
Watch the show.
Yeah.
And tell me, and I'll tell you how I like it.
Yeah, and I was just like, look, man, I said, are you a big Marvel fan? They're like, not really. And I was
No,
like,
not watch that show. Watch our show so we can tell you how we feel.
Exactly. And I was just like, look, man, I love Samuel L. Jackson. I mean, again, another person who I don't know how anybody could not like him.
Damn, and then people are coming to you in the real world asking you about your opinion on shit.
Yeah.
Telling you, the Siskel and Ebert, we're going to be the modern day Siskel and Ebert.
And I actually took a lot of consideration into the message you sent me. I was just too busy ranking up my necromancer.
No worries. Keep going about what you were talking about.
And I was just like, look, man, like I'm a big comic book guy. I love Marvel. I love this. I was like, this show kind of stunk, for the most part. I mean, you get a little bit of information out of it, maybe one big key plot twist in the MCU, but that's it.
Yeah, it's very small.
It's very small. It's very it's pretty filler.
Oh, you know what's gonna fuck everything up? I just thought about it. I didn't really just think about it, but like on the show for the first time I thought about it. Like this writer's strike and this actor strike is gonna fuck everything up.
And it's still going on, dude.
We're gonna lose a lot of shit, just like we lost a lot of shit during COVID. And it's going to take another fucking 2 or 3 years before everything catches back up again.
And I hate that, man.
I mean, they need to get paid. It is what it is, because there's people who are doing show after show after show, week after week after week, and they're not making any money.
And that's a shame, too.
It's crazy. How you're fine. That, bro, growing up, you moved to LA,
like the Hollywood dream kind of thing.
Yeah, your dream is to be an actor or an actress. Yeah, granted, only a few people make it, but if you get on a show, let's say we were talking about Star Trek earlier.
Yeah,
you get on a show that's doing well, and you're still only getting paid fucking no money. That's just crazy.
And I remember watching, and I think it was. I want to say it was Cameron Diaz, man. Or it was a female
Cameron
actress.
Diaz got paid.
Yeah, no. But hear me out. It was a female actress. She was on, I think, Letterman or Leno one night. This was years ago when I was like still in high school or just out of high school. I was watching it one night, and they were talking about how when they first started in Hollywood and how they wanted to really be, and they were like living in their car for like the longest fucking time because they were so.
Yeah, that's a lot of people. Tiffany Haddish used to live in her car.
Yeah, and I know it applies to a lot. Oh man, it was a female actress, but I remember her saying like, "Well, yeah, I did this, and then I was living in my car," and it's just like, man, dude, talk about your ambition and drive.
Jewel, the singer, used to live in her car. She was homeless too.
Yeah, Samuel L. Jackson didn't get bigger
until he was like my age.
Yeah,
he was like 44, and I don't think it was his first role, but like his second role was that scene he did as the robber in McDowell's and Coming to America. That was like his first or second acting job.
That's awesome because
it's an iconic fucking scene. Like that just fucking catapulted him to the next level. Like it was crazy.
And while we're on that subject, dude, super, super big shout out to Eddie Murphy for just being incredible throughout his entire career. Period. Sorry.
Yeah, I wish he. Did you just fart?
No, I did not.
I wish
you would know if I farted.
I felt a vibration or something.
Well, it's the earth moving.
I wish that Eddie Murphy still did stand up. I think he's done it a couple of times. I don't think he'll ever come back. But I think he's gotten so big that like if he comes back and he doesn't do well, initially it's gonna be like an ego hit. So I think that's why he won't.
Well, yeah,
do it.
I look at any.
But that's part of the comedy, bro. Like you're not gonna, none of your jokes are gonna be funny off break.
Yeah, well, I look at anybody who is, and I think that's you bring up a really good point, man. When you're so good at something for so long, and you step away, and people still demand you, and then do you do it or do you not?
Well, okay. So I'll take this to like MMA or boxing. Yeah, Anderson Silva is a good example for any MMA fans out there. He was good for so long, and then like when you start like people love you. What do they say in boxing? Or no, boxing or just fighting in general. You're only as good as your last fight.
Exactly.
So it would be the same thing in comedy. If you go all this time and you're one of the greats, you start doing movies, some of the biggest movies of all time. Movies that people will forever remember till the day they die. Past the like legendary shit.
Yeah.
And then you come out and try to go back to where you were before. They're gonna be like, wait, what the fuck? If he was strong-minded enough to do it, he could get through it. But I don't think the hit to the ego would be enough. Nor is it really worth it for him to go out on the road again
Yeah,
and start doing it. You know what I'm saying?
So that raises the question, and you could look at a lot
Raises the question.
That's what I meant. I've had a long day, and I'm
Don't
drinking-
worry.
yeah.
Don't worry.
I look at that when it comes to a lot of either whether it's musically, whether it's sports wise, okay, or in movies. I think a good example, and I'm throwing this out there, and this is a hot take. This isn't my overall opinion, but it's like if you look at, it's like when Sylvester Stallone made another Rambo movie or another Rocky movie, and it's just like, okay, and that not that they're terrible films, but it's like, did he have to do this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I see where you're coming from with that.
Yeah. Again, it's just a thought.
Yeah, I like it. I think with him though, I think there's still so much of a gap that has not really been filled recently.
Yeah,
because like you said, you always talk about this all the time. Great 80s and 90s action films.
Yeah.
We had a few through the 2000s, but we don't really have like those fucking big extravaganzas. Michael Mann does a lot of that stuff, but that's like Bad Boys, or I should say Bad Boys 2 and I guess 3, and then you got Transformers, which is big action, crazy, but it's all CGI. None of it is that old school, like real fireballs exploding, motherfuckers throwing grenades and flipping out of fucking bunkers type shit, like that old school. Real physical action.
Yeah, and it goes to, and since we are on the subject, and this is not, I don't have to do this for any reason in particular, but Arnold Schwarzenegger, had his birthday this past week. How old he is, I can't remember.
I don't know. I don't feel like looking it up either.
But when I saw that, and just kind of the mindset I've had recently with some of the stuff I've been watching, it really hit me, especially watching Terminator 2 last weekend. Dude, Arnold Schwarzenegger is the biggest action star in our lifetime, period. I will fight people for that. I will. There is nobody bigger than Arnold, man. They might be very close to him, but dude, there is nobody like, the Terminator. I'm here to rotate your tires and change your oil.
Oh, no, they said it right before I didn't even get a chance to get it up. Thank you, chat. 76. He's 76 years old.
So Arnold Schwarzenegger is almost 80 years old. Yeah. That is fucking crazy.
Yeah, and not that crazy. He's been in shape. He's been exercising his entire life. He built his life around exercising. He built his career around exercising,
which is fine, and that's why he still looks good for his age. Yeah. But it's like, man, the guy that we literally grew up watching, whoop ass and the guy's like old enough to be he's grandpa.
He's old enough to be a great grandpa.
And it's like, oh shit. And then you think about, and we were talking about Tom Cruise a couple weeks ago.
Hold up. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you're going a little far with dude, Arnold's the greatest action hero of all, or action actor of all time.
No, not actor, action hero. Difference.
What's the difference? Please explain.
The difference is Arnold is an action hero. Tom Cruise.
And that's the name of the episode, The Action Hero.
The Action Hero.
Not the last action hero.
The Action Hero.
Thank you, Arnold.
No, but Tom Cruise has a ton of action films. He is an action hero in a sense.
You know what? There's a reason this guy's name is Hollywood on here. I'm going to give you his point in a second. Keep going.
Tom Cruise is an action hero. He's not the action hero. I'm sorry, man. Dude, there is nobody... Come on, man. He's the fucking Terminator.
Well, I'll put it this way. Hollywood said Harrison Ford is his guy.
Ooh, man. Okay, so that's a good one.
And guess what? I'll give you another one. And you're going to be fucking really torn on this one.
Tell me about it.
Bruce Willis.
I wasn't able to finish my initial thought, and I wasn't able. Hey, hold on. Hear me out. Put it this way: there are only, in my opinion, 2 movies that qualify for the greatest action flick of all time. That is T2.
Here we go.
And Die Hard. Okay,
that's not, bro. Are you serious right now?
Period. And yes, Lethal Weapon. Okay, there are so many. Dude, I'm telling you.
Okay, Lethal Weapon. No, we're not going there. We're not going there at all.
Are you guys ready for Halloween? Anyway,
I do keep remembering.
yeah. So, no, but I just think in terms of magnitude, box office draw, and just overall like wow factor.
And you're still forgetting about Sylvester Stallone.
I know. I know.
Rocky, bitch.
I know. He's not. Boxing has got action.
Is this guy okay?
I am okay.
Is he insane?
I'm not insane. I'm just telling you, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Rambo, motherfucker.
I know he's Rambo, but he's not the Terminator. There's a difference.
Come on, dog. This is the whole point of the Arnold documentary on Netflix. I highly recommend everybody check it out.
I do as well.
Hollywood, Rambo. Oh, thank you. That was so great that he's here today. We might have to do more Friday shows. Judge Dredd, bitch.
All right. Hold on. I'm not saying these films aren't great. No, hold on.
Demolition Man.
I know. Listen, motherfucker. That is easily in my top 10.
He's going to name another one. Watch.
Go ahead. Give me cliffhanger. Give me another one. Give me another one. Go ahead.
Okay.
What is that? The Living Daylights with Antonio Banderas, I think it was.
I don't know.
Listen. Hear me out, please. Before I
Cobra.
It's not like Cobra's good. I don't think it's excellent. Me personally. I'm not saying that these films aren't action classics and they're not up there, but when it comes to a true action hero,
okay,
I think Arnold is just like a teeny bit above Sylvester Stallone.
Can we say Expendables? That's way newer. Hold up. That's way newer than any. Well, he's got that new show, which is it's kind of actiony, but it ain't Expendables actiony.
No, and I like the Expendables. I think it's fun for what it is. Come on. You have, again, a bunch of action heroes and badass motherfuckers whooping ass with guns.
And I'll give you another one.
Hit me.
You won't like it. I'm kind of iffy about saying it. Vin Diesel.
I think the Chronicles of Riddick is kind of slept on. I think that's a pretty good series.
Yep.
Triple X was okay.
Triple X.
Are you going to talk about Fast and the Furious?
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Time Cop is a great movie. Bloodsport.
Bloodsport's one of the most iconic movies of all time. Every martial artist that I've ever met in my life has seen Bloodsport.
Yeah, it's Bloodsport. It's awesome. I'm also a huge fan, believe it or not, of Time Cop.
Time Cop's good.
Yeah, Universal Soldiers, very good.
And we're not even getting into, somebody brought up Jackie Chan, but we're not even getting into, like, Asian martial arts.
No, not at all.
If I want to say. We're not talking about Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan, Jet Li, Chow Yun Fat. There's one more. Hold on, don't say it yet. Don't say it in my head. Oh, Donnie Yen. We're not getting into those, though.
Okay, I'm a big fan of Donnie Yen, by the way.
But he's one of the newer guys.
I know that. But what I'm essentially what I was initially trying to say is that when we get to cinema now, like Arnold is like the top guy for me, and everything, even if it is slightly below, because that's why we had the best generation of films, dude. We could sit here and probably talk about it for hours because all those films that have been mentioned are not only classics but excellent movies. But Arnold, for me, maybe it's because I was introduced to him first, potentially, and my dad was a huge Arnold fan. He's the Terminator, man.
No, I get it.
So, and
you did just watch the documentary a couple of weeks ago, so you're a little slightly biased.
Total Recall, Predator. He's even got Jingle All the Way, which is
it's not really action. He's got Kindergarten Cop. Yeah, I've seen all the movies.
It's not a tumor.
It's not a tumor.
Shut up. Yeah,
that was actually a fucking good movie. And Twins was a good ass movie too.
That movie does not get enough credit.
I love it. I just watched it a couple months ago. I fucking love that movie. I've seen that movie so many fucking times. It's crazy because it was just everything in it. You got hot chicks. Notice how that was my number one.
Yeah, hot chicks. Who doesn't like?
You got hot chicks. You got comedy. You got action. You got storyline. You got science. Although the science was kind of, in a way, pseudoscience, but it was science.
Science, nonetheless.
That movie had everything you could possibly ask for. That movie, to be honest, is this show in a nutshell. Minus the hot chicks. We've had a few every now and then.
Because we're lucky people.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming I'm Danny DeVito.
I don't know.
Well, the fact that you don't know actually kind of makes me happy.
I think Sean would be Danny DeVito.
Yeah. Shout out to that wonderful gentleman.
And me and you were like Schwarzenegger
Yeah.
combined.
I'll be his calf muscles, and you can be the upper body. We're like Voltron.
I don't know. Chat can decide who's who in this.
No, but I'll tell you another movie I watched on YouTube. And I could watch it.
You're just on YouTube all day, huh?
No. I'm actually not as crazy as it
Motherfucker
sounds.
likes ads. Go ahead.
No, but another very low key good '90s action flick is Broken Arrow with Christian Slater and John Travolta.
Oh yeah. I don't consider Travolta. Fuck.
Well, he's not an action.
He's done some action. He did Face Off with Cage. Nicolas Cage. He's an action guy.
Look, man, between Face Off and I'm a big Con Air guy. I love Con Air.
Let me ask you a question. Since this is a video game show also, do you think the character Johnny Cage is based off of Nicolas Cage?
No. The reason being is because I want to say when Nicolas Cage was early in his career, and Mortal Kombat came out, I just don't think they correlate well in terms of time because he was still young in his career. And
yeah, we think he was. I mean, we don't know who he was at that time, but his name was still Nicolas Cage.
So
maybe whoever was one of the game producers or developers, maybe they kind of heard about this guy, like they knew he was an actor. Maybe they knew he was Coppola's nephew or whatever the fuck he is.
I think he's his son, dude.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe he knew that, so maybe he's already walking around with sunglasses and shit. So maybe. I'm just thinking.
I mean,
Cage it's just really weird that Cage is in both of those.
Put it this way, Nicolas Cage and Johnny Cage are the only two people I know
Hollywood
with that name.
saying no, so I don't know.
No. Oh, they're the only two people I know with that last name.
Yeah.
Period. Like in any sense of the word. It's possible, but I just don't think the time really matches up well.
Okay, yeah, that does make sense. He says Jean-Claude Van Damme from Bloodsport.
I would have to say that would probably be the closer. But I was watching Broken Arrow and I forgot because I haven't seen this movie in a long time.
Howie Long.
No, it's actually directed by John Woo.
Oh no. Oh yeah. Well,
yeah.
I knew that, but Howie Long's in that movie.
Dude,
you remember that?
Hell yeah, dude. Howie Long.
For those who don't know,
Raiders.
Nobody who's a football fan, Howie Long was a linebacker for the Oakland Raiders, I think L.A. Raiders at one point. And he became an actor. He's the guy you see on Fox Football on Sunday mornings when you watch.
He was
football.
also in that good old fashioned movie Firestorm back in '97.
Yeah, nobody knows that.
Yeah, it's not a really good movie. I actually prefer Backdraft in terms of like fire movies. Backdraft is awesome.
Oh, Backdraft was crazy. That actually, I was watching that when I was trying to be a firefighter.
And I am biased because I'm a big Kurt Russell fan.
Yeah, Chris Long's dad. Yeah, we get it.
Yeah, no, but
that's how you know you're young.
But when I was sitting there watching it, and I was like, I forgot John Woo made this film. And then you watch some of the action pieces, and even and I will tell you this, what I do miss the most, I know this sounds crazy.
By the way, John Woo did a lot of Chow Yun-Fat stuff.
I know.
Too.
Oh, I know. And I think that's probably one of the reasons I'm a fan of Chow Yun-Fat, to be honest with you. Not that I just don't like the guy.
He did a lot of he did The Killer, which Wu-Tang was a big fan of growing up.
And
he also did what was that movie with Mira Sorvino? Fuck, it's one of my favorite movies. I watched it 100 times. I can't remember the name of it now.
And
I loved it because it has so many guns in it. Fuck.
And so I was watching it. What I really miss about 90s action and those movies is the scores to the movies, like the music in general. It has such a 90s, and I'm only saying that because obviously I grew up in that era, but it has a certain tone to the little melodies in the background and this and that are just like, yo, that is so cool. And I miss that a lot, like a ton, actually. It's like when our buddy Sean was over here, not last week, but I think a week or two prior, and we were talking about, kind of the same thing. And when it's like when a movie trailer came on TV, like you're watching a commercial and it had the guy with the voice, Pierce Brosnan, Linda Hamilton, was it Dante's Peak, and just the whole trailer aspect of The Replacement Killers.
Yeah,
excellent film.
That's the movie I was talking about, which also was slept on. Very slept on movie. That shit has so much fucking action in it. It was guns galore. People getting beat up.
My dad loved this movie.
Bro, this is one of my favorite movies to this day. To this day.
Yeah, so it's just, they put it this way, when it comes to late or 80s, 90s action, there is so much to consume.
And I was in love with Mira Sorvino, by the way.
And if you're not still, Jared, I've got some problems.
What was this, the romantic movie she did with the chick from Friends? Not a romantic movie.
Are you talking about, what's her face? The chick that played Rachel?
Yeah.
Jennifer Aniston?
No.
Mila Kudrow.
Yes. Something and somebody. It's two girls. But anyway, Mira Sorvino was in The Replacement Killers with Chow Yun-Fat. Very slept on movie. I highly suggest you fucking look this one up. If you don't watch this movie, you're missing out on some good action.
Yeah, you're not only missing out on some good action, you're missing out on some super cool kung fu shit too, dude.
Yeah, he did a little bit of that, but he was always known for the two-gun style, like two Berettas and and shooting. Bro, that movie's so good.
When you think about it, now that you bring it up, a lot of games may have been inspired by some of these films in terms of their protagonists.
Yeah, Max Payne.
Max Payne. Oh,
Max Payne is clearly off of The Killer.
Oh, dude, Max Payne is, and spoiler alert, by the way, or not even spoiler alert, they are remaking the original two. I don't know if they're coming out towards the end of the year.
I heard about that.
And I want to tell you that I am so undeniably excited to play those because Max Payne is one of my favorite franchises because of the style, because it has that LA noir style to it. In terms of the comic book storytelling, the whole atmosphere. Max Payne is one of the coolest characters in video games ever. The bullet time from John Woo, Chow Yun-Fat, whatever.
Yeah.
The two Berettas, yep. The shotgun, all that shit. And then I think, and I'm sorry to do this again to you, Jared.
I feel like John Woo actually directed Max Payne, if I remember correctly. But keep going.
He may have. But one of, I've been recently talking about Metal Gear Solid a lot for a ton of very good reasons. But Solid Snake, the protagonist in the Metal Gear Solid franchise, is actually derived off of Kurt Russell's Snake Plissken from Escape from New York. And I think sometimes when some of these action films come out, especially in that day and age, I think a lot of those had an influence on certain games that we love today. I
think what happens is we grow up with certain things, we watch certain things as we grow up, and when we become creators, or people become creators and they get to a certain level, they get a special skill and whatever it is, and those influences of what they watched or were like just saw growing up it shows through their creativity.
And I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
Me personally. And it's not a direct rip-off of it.
No. But you can definitely see the influences from certain things. Like a prime example, I already brought it up, but Wu-Tang, for sure. Their influence, the whole idea, I don't want to call it a gimmick because it's part of their identity, but the whole idea is just from watching martial arts movies growing up and during the time that they were growing up, and the music that they were listening to growing up, because it even comes through their music. All the like the Deltones and like not Delto, Deftones or whatever the fuck.
I think Wu-Tang uses some of the best film samples in their beats and their just anything.
Yeah, I'm not saying so much just what they use for their samples and their beats. I'm saying
their identity.
Their identity is derived from shit that's just a part of their DNA from growing up.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever watched the Wu-Tang series. Like you see a lot of that, and but this is just adding to what you were saying. Like people, they become influenced by what they see and what they like. Like to be honest, like us doing this right now, talking about movies that influenced us growing up. Like this is just us being creative and sharing our thoughts, and then people like, oh yeah, I might go see it. So they might go see it. We're not, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's just I don't know.
No, and we all, I think whenever you want to do anything entertainment or whatever you do, whether it's art, music, games, whatever, if you want to go be Bob the Builder and build houses, we all want to emulate somebody that we grew up watching. Admire, essentially. Yeah. And so maybe your early work, especially your early work when you're trying to find your own identity.
Oh yeah, that's a big thing in comedy.
Is it's like well, it's like say, hey, you go up on stage and you're like, well, hey, how would Dave do this, or Chris Rock, or Steve Harvey, or Bernie Mac?
I don't know. Maybe sometimes I feel like my certain mannerisms I do on stage. I feel like I'll be like, wait, I feel like I'm doing that because this person did it. I don't think I have it so much now. I kind of think I've always kind of had my own identity in a way, just because I did drama in school and I'd done stuff on stage. So like I'm kind of there. But a lot of people, when they first start out, they think before they even figure out what their own persona is. And I don't think I'm fully at my full persona of who I am as a comedian. But usually you're always influenced by somebody else.
Yeah.
So the same thing with what you're saying is like, no matter what it is, whether it's dance, like if you study a certain dancer, you watch you were into Paula Abdul growing up, which people don't know. Before she was a singer, she was a dancer, or J-Lo, or I'm just naming dancers off the top of my head. I don't know any newer dancers, but dancers coming up might be like, I want to dance like she did, and fucking so then they learn hip hop and blah or whatever. I don't know, just making up shit as we go along. But we all, I guess, on the same page.
No, but I think that's cool. I think it's also, and it's crazy. And shout out to Sean for this. But I think a lot of professional wrestlers do this now, especially the generation.
Yeah. Well, we grew up in a time where the wrestler, like, I don't know. I don't watch it anymore, but there's not really too many more personalities that you can come up with that's different than what we saw. Especially, I grew up before it was any of those. When WWF was around, when NWA was it NWA?
NWO? Or no.
NWA. No,
yeah,
National
the NWA.
Wrestling. Yeah. When Ric Flair was. Stand on Saturday mornings was in front of the fucking blue fucking wall and fucking screaming at motherfuckers, and then there was ladies in the crowd and shit like that
throwing their bras at him. And
he was one of the originals. You know what I'm saying? So that it started out with that. So and then a lot of people got their influence from him screaming and then you got Hulk Hogan, and so all that stuff comes from the same derived thing.
So I always
Four Horsemen and the Nation of Domination. I was thinking the Demolition Man and all that.
We are the nation.
The things I would do just to meet J-Lo is she's so we know.
Yeah, you act like we don't know. We know.
We know J-Lo stunning. Shakira stunning also.
Oh yeah.
I have to not date Latin women anymore.
Jared's gonna marry a Latin woman, folks. I'm calling it here. On our 193rd episode. And while you're listening,
you've heard my joke.
Yeah, we've already heard. And we've heard the joke, but what you haven't heard, at least today, is that when you do listen to this podcast, you should always check us out anywhere you get your podcast. That is Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube on Mondays for the visual, so you can see our handsome faces grace your screen while you drive to work and hate your boss. And if you don't like your boss, fuck with us. So, folks.
And usually every Saturday at 6 on Twitch live, we unforeseen circumstances, well, not unforeseen, last minute changes and plans made us do this tonight. So there won't be a live show tomorrow. This will still be live on Monday morning. Video and audio for anyone who may have missed it. Unless we want to do a random one, or just a free Twitch one on Sunday, and then maybe like a bonus. I don't know. Let's let the audience decide if they want that.
Let us know, guys. Let us know. But the reason we did this show tonight, right here in Northern Virginia, I wanted to get my Mick Foley going on.
Don't give them the real reason.
No, not at all.
Oh.
Is that we wanted to make sure that you guys had a weekly dose of me and Jared sitting here drinking my little bitch glass of
live, because I was telling RJ last week, now that we're affiliated with Twitch,
we can't stop.
Yes, we're gonna have ads if you're not subbed. Just saying.
Hey, you don't like watching ads? Give us your money.
Because at some point we have to make money off of this thing that we do every week, and we appreciate all the supporters who are already out there.
We really do.
Fuck you, Ali Ice. He said, "Fuck no, one is enough." This week, Jesus. So, let me ask y'all something. I do want to stream more. What game do you want me to play? And no, I'm not playing fucking Apex. I'm not playing fucking what the fuck do y'all? What?
I'm sorry, I'm not allowed to talk about it, so I don't know what your game.
Oh
you're
yeah,
referring
I'm
to.
not playing Diablo.
Oh my god!
But something that y'all think would be interesting. See, I knew he was gonna type that shit. Something y'all think would be interesting. No, motherfucker! I just said no. God damn it!
You dude.
Wait, hold on. Look, what Epic said? Take a shit at work every day like I do, and you can easily sub. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. If you poop at work, make sure you listen to us while you evacuate your bowels.
Gift a sub to somebody or donate. Look, bro, man, we've been doing this shit for
a long fucking time.
A long time, and
I'm fucking crying.
I think it's. I don't know. I think it's time for us to start seeing some fruits of our labor.
Fruits of our labor. And folks, we're not talking about those good old commercials with Michael Jordan in them. Not fruit of the loom. Fruit of our labor. All right?
Yeah.
I'd like to say that, and I also like to say this. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to an impromptu, a very special 193rd episode.
I feel like Friday's a good night, too, so we might be able to do alternate depending on how we feel, I guess. I don't know. That's up to RJ, though, because he has a long work week.
I do.
Notice I said he has a long work week.
Jared sells drugs to children. And with that being said, folks, we will see you all next Saturday, live around 6 p.m.-ish, live on Twitch. As always, please like, share, comment, subscribe. Make sure you review. Tell your friends, your family. Tell your cat, your dog, your neighbor, your duck, your platypus, your squirrel, your nuts. Tell your nuts about us. And we will see you guys next week.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry, I just wanted to get really intense.
Hey, man, you sent her in here with them titties. What you expect?
He's correct.
Great Scott.
There. Thanks, guys.
I'm gonna hit you so hard you won't see nothing. Ever, 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 ever.
Audio Skulls all day.
The merit scientist forever. The merit scientist forever. The merit scientist forever. Merit scientist forever.
You can't have an opinion on something that you haven't even tried.
Exactly.
The merit scientist forever. The merit scientist.